come once again to discuss things.
Brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who were share Beatles' might. Beware my power, Green Lantern's land. Ring capacity 46.1. Ring capacity 58.9. Ring capacity 64.5. And now I'm charged and burning bright. Ring capacity 75. Ring capacity.
Okay. Hi everyone. So this will be like a mini-sode. I don't imagine it'll last that long. This is part of our Green Lantern trade series. So last time we did Secret Origin, and that's, it's a good book. It's a retooling of Jeff Johns. It's Jeff Johns retooling Hal Jordan's, origin. That's why it's called Secret Origin. But then the next thing we're gonna do is Green Lantern Rebirth. But here's the thing, Milan. There is a very big gap in time between those two stories. Not even just like the time in which they are supposed to take place, but just everything about them is just... There's just so much going on in between those. So I figured it'd be a good idea for me to just explain to you what happens in between those things, alright?
I think I have a vague idea. Doesn't Hal get possessed by Parallax, some sort of cosmic embodiment of fear or whatever, and kind of goes crazy after his home city gets destroyed by some supervillains, and he tries to rebuild it with his power ring, and he asks the Guardians for some power or whatever, and the Guardians say no, and so he kind of kills most of the Green Lantern Corps, takes their rings, and becomes Parallax, and gets some...
Yes, that is the, thing about Hal Jordan that happened, and I'm glad you know that much, because I wouldn't have been able to explain it very well, because it is kind of convoluted, but Johns actually manages to make it work. No, but there's also just, there's the Guy Gardner warrior phase that plays into Rebirth in a pretty big way. There's the... Yeah, see, there's everything going on with Kyle Rayner, so let's go ahead and talk about it. So you got Green Lantern Secret Origin, and then the next major thing would be, how he meets, or what happens with Sinestro. Alright, so they go to Sinestro's planet, in another story, and he's a fucking, crazy-ass dictator that's ruling everybody through fear, and the ring shouldn't allow him to do that, but because it's, programmed not to let people, not to let these people do things that they know are wrong or whatever. But Sinestro's so fucking crazy, he thinks that it's the right thing to do to rule people out of fear. Mm-hmm. He is like Space Batman, with a power ring and a creepy-ass mustache.
So, a sympathetic space Hitler.
Yeah, sympathetic space Hitler, as you so eloquently put it before. It's like Space Frank Miller Batman, let me put it that way. Okay. Yeah, he's a fucking nut job, and he's just ruling these people out of fear, and it plays up a little bit in later trades. His home planet just does not trust the Green Lantern Corps after that, for very obvious reasons. So that's the whole thing with Sinestro. He's put on trial, and the Guardians don't execute people. So instead, he's banished to the antimatter universe. He's kicked out of the fucking universe, and he goes there, and there he gets a yellow power ring, and he comes back and he starts fighting Hal Jordan, and that's their whole relationship. So,
hold on. How the hell does he get a power ring?
There's the Weaponers on Quard, which is a planet in the antimatter universe. It's basically like some smiths, space smiths. Yes, space smiths. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Space smiths, space smiths, space smiths, space smiths.
That was 4 times, and you didn't say it fast enough. Anyway, so yeah, he gets the yellow power ring, which we learn later he's actually harnessing the energy of fear, whereas green is will. And that's something that John's totally introduced into the thing. It really hadn't been a big deal. Like, before it was just green stuff. So that's how John's introduced it, and that's why the rings are, in Secret Origin have no effect on yellow objects, because yellow is the color of fear.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Because they're
right.
yeller. They're afraid of being yellow.
Yeah.
So clever.
And that's not incredibly important to remember, because in Rebirth it'll handle that as well. Because that is the dumbest fucking weakness ever. Shut up, Green Lantern, I'm gonna pee on you.
You know, say what you will about, Frank Miller's All-Star Batman and Robin, but how Batman defeats the Green Lantern, or gets him into an equal setting, is essentially he paints himself and Robin in a room completely yellow. He says, "Come on to this place," and Green Lantern comes into this place, and it's just completely yellow, and Green Lantern can't do shit against yellow, because Batman's basically painted himself completely yellow. See, that's Batman, he's a thinker.
Yeah. I like that one. That was a clever idea. I don't know how I felt about Green Lantern using his ring to create a bat signal, but whatever. He's just
funny enough, the Green Lantern in Frank Miller's eyes is kind of an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, there's something about Batman and Green Lantern hanging out together. It doesn't matter which Green Lantern it is. It's always hilarious. Because Batman is just such a fucking straight-faced asshole to these guys, and he just makes them look like morons, no matter which one he's around. Just every time I read a scene with Green Lantern and Batman, he just makes them look like idiots. And it's not like the people writing Batman like him more. In the New 52, the first issue of Justice League, there's that scene with Green Lantern and Batman, and Batman just straight up takes the ring off of him, and he's like, "Wait, how'd you do that?" And that was written by Jeff Johns.
Yeah, that's weird.
You remember that scene, don't you?
I love that scene. It's hysterical.
Yeah, it's like, so what are your powers? Like, bat powers. Can you, like, fly or, like, see in the dark or something? No. Are you just a guy in a costume? He was pissed.
Oh, that's hysterical. That's funny. Anyway, yeah, you were saying.
Alright, so there's your stuff with Sinestro. And as you know, there's the whole thing that went down with, Hal Jordan going crazy. So, like, you had all that, and so you had the Green Lantern Corps.
One second, one question. Hal Jordan killed a bunch of Green Lanterns, and most of them are back. How was there like a giant resurrection event? What the hell?
New rings, new Green Lanterns.
Oh, so did the Corps just forgive him? Like, hey, that's Hal Jordan. Didn't he kill the guy who used to own this ring?
Oh, it comes up. It comes up a lot.
Wait, didn't he kill Kilowog?
No, Kilowog didn't die.
Oh. I like Kilowog.
Alright, he beat the shit out of Kilowog. Kilowog didn't die. Maybe. I don't think so. Once we read Rebirth, they'll definitely tell you something. But yeah, so he becomes Parallax, and he does redeem himself in the end, because he reignites the sun.
Oh.
A la All-Star Superman. Before All-Star Superman. So that's how Hal Jordan redeems himself. And then he goes around for a while. He joined with the Spectre, and they go around for a while doing stuff. And they're okay stories, but nothing special. So that's basically how Jordan's thing is. He was just, his spirit was aligned with the Spectre for a while, and that was cool, but not terribly interesting. I think the Spectre can be his own character, and so can Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
So then there are only 2 Green Lanterns left in the universe. What is that?
What?
There's like some scraping sound.
I sometimes get that. I think there's a dude in my wall.
No, should probably do something about that.
I just throw food in the wall, in the crack between the walls sometimes, and he kind of does a hand that's all gnarled and blackened and furry. And just,
What?
I just say, "Hey, dude, you want some cereal?" Ah, he grabs the cereal and escapes into the wall. Yeah, there's a dude that lives on my wall. He doesn't speak.
Okay.
He communicates in guttural squealings.
Yeah. Alright, so there's the whole thing with Parallax, and it's okay. I mean, it's kind of shitty to, if you're gonna kill off Hal Jordan, just kill him off. Don't fucking make him the bad guy.
Dude,
whatever.
Wasn't there like a giant kind of, nerd connection, nerd boycott of Green Lantern? Like there was like before the internet, they were like, yeah, fuck you, Hal Jordan, who's this pussy artist, replacing him.
Nah, I mean, maybe to a certain extent, but yeah, so Hal kills all the, Green Lanterns and all the Guardians except for Ganthet. And Ganthet travels to Earth and gives Kyle Rayner a ring, and for a while, Kyle Rayner, Jon Stewart, and, Guy Gardner are the only Green Lanterns. Guy Gardner gives up his ring because he becomes the Warrior because of his superpower. Oh man, that was stupid.
What?
So basically, Guy Gardner, he's lucky enough to get picked. He's a normal human being, or so we think, and he's lucky enough to get picked for a Green Lantern ring, and he's a Green Lantern for a long time. But then when Hal Jordan dies, and apparently there's only one Green Lantern anymore, it's not because Jon Stewart doesn't fucking count. There's only one Green Lantern anymore. Guy Gardner still needs to be relevant because everybody loves Guy Gardner.
They do?
So they say that he has warrior DNA, some kind of like ancient alien or something, like species, is part of his DNA. So he gets, like, superpowers and becomes, like, the Warrior or some shit like that. And it's really fucking stupid. It's just terrible. If I can think of the worst thing they did with any Green Lantern character, it's probably Guy Gardner. And I'm really glad it's Guy Gardner, because it would have been annoying if it were anybody else. But yeah, so Guy Gardner's the Warrior for a while, and whatever, and Jon Stewart just shows up when they want another Green Lantern, but they don't.
They don't even count him?
I mean, he's such a forgotten character until the Justice League show, it's ridiculous.
Well, didn't he was, like, set off to, like, take care of this world, where, wasn't, like there were a mad Guardian who basically went all Brainiac on people and like stole bits of cities and just gonna make them all coexist on this one planet or whatever?
I do not remember. I don't think I ever read that story.
Well, essentially, didn't he become like some sort of auditor of worlds or whatever? I don't know.
I don't know, they did stuff with Jon Stewart occasionally, but mostly he was just there when they wanted a black guy.
To remind you that he was a black guy.
Right. No, but then Kyle Rayner gets the ring, and he's the only Green Lantern for a long time. He eventually bonds with the force of Ion, who is like Parallax for the Green Lanterns. We find out later. Ion is the entity that represents will. So Kyle Rayner bonds with Ion and becomes one of the greatest Green Lanterns for a while, or like becomes one of the most powerful beings in the universe for a while, which is cool, That was fine. There's like nothing wrong with Kyle Rayner's run. It's just that you take this awesome like thing of the Green Lantern Corps and then you just got rid of every one of them except for Kyle Rayner. And, like, Kilowog and, like, Mogo and stuff showed up occasionally. Like, they kept a couple of the big names, but otherwise it's just, nope, Kyle Rayner. That's all you got.
I mean, you
So
can't
it was
kill Mogo.
disappointing. You cannot kill Mogo,
You
except
cannot
that they
kill
did.
No. Fuck, was that in the New 52?
Yep.
Fucking.
Or wait. No, it was not in the New 52. It was just before the New 52.
What? Is he back in the New 52?
Yeah, he came back.
Oh, good. How did
Nobody dies in comic books, not even Mogo.
Dude, if they kept Mogo dead, I would fucking bomb DC. Just go there with a fucking nuclear missile attached to my back. I'm like, bring back Mogo, you motherfuckers!
Mogo's such a badass.
Like, I don't even
we
read.
might just read.
Dude, I don't even read Green Lantern, and I love Mogo.
It's just such a cool, like, you know, I hate Alan Moore as a person, but God, he came up with some cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah, so, you know, Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern for a while, and it's, whatever. The Grant Morrison comic book or Justice League stuff was pretty good.
Dude,
Kyle Rayner was...
Didn't, like, every single one of his love interests die horrifyingly?
It was the 90s. Everybody died a horrifying death because of punk rock and serial killers.
It's strange because, like, didn't the feminists actually name, like, a thing after him, like the fridge? Like, because his girlfriend was chopped up and put in a fridge, and it's like, that's just what happened to him all the time. Like, hey,
yeah.
I'm an interesting female character. Nope, I'm gonna die horribly. So yeah, if you're a fictional female character, don't fuck Kyle Rayner, because you're gonna get chopped
Pretty
up.
much.
Yeah.
For all the fictional female characters listening to the show.
Yeah.
Who I can... Women don't listen to this show.
Funny enough, more than half of my fan base are women.
Weird.
And the other not even half a quarter are African American men.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's funny.
But anyway, so, like, I don't know, I like the idea of Kyle Rayner. I thought that was pretty clever, give an artist a Green Lantern ring. I thought that was neat. Like, how do you like that idea, just on principle?
I thought that was really good. Like, from what little I've read of Kyle Rayner, just some of the concepts that, you know, the constructs you come up with is like, he had like a fucking Chinese dragon thing spout like rainbows at people that were green.
Yeah, when, I forget who took over the book when Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern, but, like, the basic premise of the book running for Green Lantern at the time when Kyle Rayner was he never makes the same thing twice. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. Like, everyone got annoyed with Hal Jordan because it's like, all he does is make fists and baseball bats and catcher's mitts. And so what the edict was Kyle Rayner never makes the same construct twice. Like, that's fucking brilliant. Because it's just like challenging the artist to do cooler things, you know, bigger and better.
But, you know, with Kyle Jordan, the kind of whole baseball bat and catcher's mitts kind of fits because he's like an all-American boy. Like, I'm going to play some baseball in space.
In space. Yes. No, I don't get me wrong, I like Hal Jordan, and it doesn't really bother me that he does the hand and the boxing glove, like, those are his tropes. You know, whatever. They've definitely made his stuff more interesting since Johns took over. But it was a good thought, though, I thought. They basically added a very similar rule to Hal Jordan, except for, you know, the classic hand and stuff. If Hal Jordan makes a construct, it's a different one just about every other time, you know? They've been pretty good about that. And, you know, that's one of the good things that did come from the Kyle Rayner run. But yeah, after Kyle Rayner, you know, Johns takes over the book in 2003 with Green Lantern Rebirth, and that's what we'll be reading next. Did you have any other questions, like, of things that I should fill in, just because?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Alright, no, that's fine. I just thought it would be a good idea to kind of cover, like, the giant gap that's created since we don't have any more prequel stuff from John's run.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed. And there's a rivalry with Batman and Green Lantern. They don't really like each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it's Guy Gardner's... Yeah, I don't know. There's always the famous Guy Gardner scene. One punch! Love that scene. Because that is such a Batman thing to do. Just punch Guy when he's not expecting it.
Yeah, Batman is a bitch. He's like, you know...
Batman's dirty, dude.
Yeah,
Batman will fight dirty.
Well, of course he has to. You can't stand up against the guy with like, a fucking power ring.
I could. I'd totally take on a guy with a power ring. Come here, Hal Jordan, I'll piss on you. I forget who did that, but it was like this whole thing where it's like one guy is just like, God damn it, I gotta worry about villains pissing on me and shit. And it's like, yeah, I can't remember the YouTuber. It was just a really short YouTube video where he was doing a parody of Green Lantern, and like, he goes, you know how fucking annoying it is to have yellow as a weakness? I went and got a sandwich at the deli the other day, and the fucker put mustard on it. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's hysterical. Yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow.
But yeah, that's just about it. Like I said, guys, it'd be a really short episode, but it would feel wrong to continue without talking about the gap there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is going to be a rather interesting series if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, everyone. So thank you for listening, and until next time, I'm the Philosopher,
and I am the Madman,
and we are your geeky gentlemen, and we will be
discussing things.
God damn it.